It's a rough day.
Cheers, milady.
Oh.
You drinking hot cocoa?
Yeah, cocoa.
The best hot cocoa, by the way, on the planet. And not because it's like a special hot cocoa. It's because our dearest friend, Sarah, spelled Sera, which is the best way to spell Sarah. She served it to me when I was freezing cold taking photos on a mountaintop.
Yes.
And it saved my life.
And you haven't stopped talking about it since.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm drinking tea, though, because I had a little bit of a cold.
A big cold.
Still have it a little bit, so.
Super sick.
I got to breathe easy. Hey, did you hear about Bezos? You didn't hear about Mr. Jeffrey Bezos? He got a divorce?
Are you saying Jeff Bezos?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard.
What do you think about that? They got the D, the big D.
Do you want my honest answer? Mm-hmm. I give two shits.
Is it because it's too gossipy?
No, it's because I literally don't know anything about the guy except for he owns Amazon, and that's
He's the
cool.
king of the Amazons.
Okay. No.
Jeffrey Bezos, the king of the Amazons.
What's her name? Is the king of the
Wonder Woman? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, she's not the king though. She's actually the daughter of the queen, right?
Yeah, and probably queen. Definitely not king. But I have a serious question right now. Do you think Jeffrey Bezos has stinkies in his bungus?
Welcome to Should We Get Married with Kiley and Kyle.
So this week's episode,
oh yes,
is a real humdinger. It's a real barn burner. It's a real blast from the past.
It is about 5 years in the past.
Yeah, when we were first getting together.
We teased this on the bonus episode.
Yep, on the bonus episode. And this episode, this full episode that we're doing right now, I would say kind of involves
butt stuff.
Embarrassing bodily functions in particular. Yeah, butt stuff, for sure.
Should we get right into it?
Well, let's just first say that we just want to thank everybody for listening.
Oh, yeah. I was surprised.
I'm over the moon surprised and a little taken aback and very humbled by the reception and your listening and your support means so much to us because we work very hard on this podcast.
We were surprised that we thought a few of our closer friends would listen to it, but more people than we thought have reached out to say, hey, keep up the good work.
Yeah.
And people I haven't even talked to in years, honestly.
Yeah, and it means so much. And please like and subscribe over on Apple and Google or wherever you listen to podcasts, whether it be Stitcher or Podbean or whatever. The reviews really help a lot in our standings in the statistics. And also tell a friend. It really means a lot to us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So you want to talk about...
Also, the more people that come up to me, specifically at work, the more nervous I get that I'm just telling, for example, this poop story. This story is...
Wait, what do you call
called
it?
Mount Pilchuck Poopathon.
Okay, I love that.
I think you call it...
I call it the Shit Mountain Story, but your title is better.
So the story of the Mount Pilchuck Poopathon starts in July of 2013. Kyle and I became official in June of 2013.
This was on Independence Day.
Yeah, and so June 30th is when we're like, so should we do this for real? It had been a couple months.
You turn to me and you go,
no.
Kyle?
No.
Kyle, I was wondering...
No, I did not.
If you would like to become official and go steady together.
Steady. No, we were driving home from camping with our friends in Soap Lake holding hands, and you looked over me from the passenger seat and you're like, so is this like...
No, I was
girlfriend, boyfriend stuff now? Something like that. are we official? And I said, okay,
Yeah.
that's it.
And it went downhill for about 6 months.
A year.
From there, maybe.
We broke up twice. Maybe we'll talk about that someday.
Well,
but,
let's definitely talk about it.
okay. But this was, the Poopathon was on the 4th of July, which was not even a week later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, right away.
And we thought it'd be a good idea Kyle thought it'd be a good idea to introduce me to his mom for the first time.
It's also true, yes.
On a hike of Mount Pilchuck. And if you live in the area, you know that it's kind of a difficult hike. And at the time, there was still...
I mean, it's kind of difficult. It's not that difficult.
It's kind of difficult.
It was on the day we went.
If you don't hike. It was. And it was covered in snow up top. So once that happens, the trail gets lost and you're kind of on your own. And there are markers here and there, but you really have to find them. So it started out great. I met your mom, who I liked right off the bat. I still love very much.
Can I set the scene real quick?
And her husband. Go ahead.
Her husband, Chris. Yeah. So the first thing we did, which
Oh, right.
in the end,
Before meeting him.
in the end might have been the thing that undid us.
It for sure was.
Okay, so we stopped by the IGA. We picked up chicken salad sandwiches.
Determined our fate.
Yeah. So anyways, we made it to the trailhead. We drove separate from Jane and Chris.
Oh, right.
And we met them at the trailhead. And it wasn't too busy on this particular day, on Independence Day. But it was still busy.
So let's fast forward to we get to the top.
Well, hang on. I mean, we're having a good time. This is the first time you met my mom, and everything's going really well. Yeah. My mom loves you.
Easy to like.
You're very easy to like. You're awesome. You're confident. You're beautiful.
Oh, okay. Well, I was joking, but thank you.
Yeah. And everything's going really well. And then we start hitting the snowpack. And the snowpack is as such... I mean, we're 2/3 the way up the mountain and the snowpack starts, and it's kind of a dangerous snowpack. It is dangerous because it's thin, and it has a thin layer of ice within it, and you don't know if your foot will break through and end up in between rocks or whatever's beneath it. We should have probably not gone forward, in my opinion, looking back.
Oh.
Because Salem was with us, my dog, and...
He made it.
We all made it.
He didn't make it last time we hiked Mount Pilchuck. He didn't make it to the top, the lookout.
Yeah, that's true. Because
he made it this time.
Because it was super busy the last time we went. And there was just like a bunch of people.
Was no... Okay, yeah.
But, so anyways, here we are. We're climbing the snowpack, and we get to the top of the mountain, and it's beautiful.
And we're starving.
So
what do?
We pull out those chicken salad sandwiches. And they're pretty good.
Scarfed them.
I mean, yeah, it was really tasty.
Oh, and they were on croissants. Chicken salad on a croissant. Doesn't that sound good?
Yes, it does. But also knowing what happened next, it doesn't, it just like the taste in my mouth is not good.
Have you had chicken salad since this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like chicken salad.
We also had trail mix and some other stuff.
Yeah. By the way, chicken salad is tuna salad. It's the same thing, but just different meats. No?
Well, it's chicken salad.
Yeah.
Not tuna.
Same
salad.
thing, different meats. It is
meat
and mayo.
And
it's meat and mayo and some celery, maybe some onions.
Yeah. I just don't think you can say it's tuna salad, but chicken. It just doesn't work.
All right, so we eat the sandwich. We're at the top of the mountain, and then we start hiking back down, right?
All is good.
All is good. But what happens to me immediately at the top of this hike, at the top of this mountain, on this difficult snowpack to hike back down, is my stomach just drops. It turns, it drops, and I get that sinking feeling of, oh no, I have to poop real bad. I have the kind of I have to poop where it's like bathroom now and I'm gonna be in there for hours. That's the kind of feeling I have on the top of a mountain on July 4th, the first time you're meeting my mom. So anyways, we start hiking.
Sucks for you.
Sucks for me. But what happens next is it gets now it starts getting weird. So you guys are hiking and I'm wondering in my head, like, okay, where do I poop? How do I poop? How is this going to happen? Because there's people hiking up and down. There's not very many trees. I luckily packed some toilet paper, which, by the way, you looked at me funny when we were packing. And when I packed this toilet paper, you go, what do you think we're going to need that for? And I go, just you wait. You never know. You never know when you're going to need toilet paper. Salem, on your bed. Come here. On your bed. Good boy.
Well, I've never had a incident like that before.
So, anyways, I'm wondering when and where I'm going to poop. And basically, I just tell you guys to go ahead and I head off into the woods.
Yeah, guess what? I'm feeling good. And we're hiking and we're about a third of the way down, maybe?
No. I'm still at the top.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought, we were still in the snowpack when you decided you needed to look for a bush.
So anyways, I look
there were none.
Well, I look for a bush. I get one out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And then immediately after, it's the second wave is starting to hit me already.
I'm like, man, that sucks.
And we're going down this super steep snowpack, and there's no trees at this point. A little bit later, and there's a little brush in the middle of nothing. And I have to go behind that. Mm-hmm. And I have to actually tell you before I do that, hey, I'm having a stomach thing. And I'm having, I think, what might be food poisoning. And I'm going to be pooping on the way down this mountain. And you were cool about it.
I'm like, dang, I'm sorry. That really sucks.
Yeah, you were like, sucks for you. But I'm sorry it's happening.
I'm here for you.
Yeah, I'm here for you. And so I keep doing my business on the way down. And then
let me just preface this and tell you that 5 years later, what we know is Kyle's body reacts much quicker to things than my body does.
This is true.
I've got a little bit more of an iron stomach and he has stomach issues. So
I have IBS and diverticulitis and my stomach is not.
Yeah, all of that. And so that's just a precursor for.
Right. So I do a couple of dumps, super uncomfortable, watery dumps.
Okay.
And I'm still too much?
Yes.
I'm still feeling really, really bad. And then we're hiking down a little bit more and I have to go again. And then what happens next?
And then I feel a rumble in the grumble.
You feel a little rumble?
I feel a rumble in the grumble. And I'm not used to those kinds of emergencies because I'm always good to go.
When does it hit you that I'm meeting Kyle's mom for the first time and I have food poisoning?
Well, I think we might have told her to go ahead before it hit me.
Because I was doing my thing?
Because you kept stopping.
Yeah.
And so they were a little ahead, but I think we could still see them. And I think it got to the point where I realized I couldn't wait any longer and it was an emergency. And so I don't remember how many times it happened, but the specific time that I remember it happening is we had to find a space in between the trails because it was switchbacky in the woods area. And you could kind of see other people through the woods going along the trail, but we had no choice. So I found a spot and I posted up and I just remember yelling at you.
Is that what you call it? Posting up? That's so...
But it was really hard because we were on a really steep incline. And so you can't exactly go backwards, but if you're going forwards, then you don't want to get your pants in the way. It's a whole thing. So I just remember going and yelling at you, keep going, and because I could still either hear you or see you, and I did not want you to be within eyesight, and I did not want you to be within ear sight, especially because I didn't know what was going to happen. And so like each wave that I got, I would keep yelling, keep going. Did not want you near me.
So every time you said keep going, were you squirting it out?
Let's just fast forward.
Because that's something I would do. It's like every time I said it, I would squirt it.
So we made it down the mountain.
Okay.
And this mountain has one of the nastiest toilets I've ever seen in my entire life. It's the worst smell I've ever smelt in my life. Would you agree?
The majority of trailheads have really awful
It's
toilets.
like a hole in the ground, and you have to bring your
Yeah.
own teepee. And I had to use that bathroom a couple times before we went home. And your mom was waiting for us at the bottom at that bathroom, and she
Yeah.
was waiting outside the bathroom, which is kind of has open windows at the top. And I was I was like, meet us at home. This is over. This day is over.
Yeah, it was a real traumatic experience. And also there's some PTSD. We've hiked it since. Mm-hmm. And trust me, when we were about to hike that Mount Pilchuck again, the second time, which was
Did you feel
years
it?
after. No, I was so nervous it was going to happen again. I had so much PTSD, and I didn't eat very much before I went up. Mm-hmm. And I just everything was fine. So now it's kind of like the slate's wiped clean. No pun intended, but...
So that was a story of the first time I met Kyle's mom and her husband. And might I remind you that this is when you still lived in your tiny, tiny apartment in Everett.
Yeah.
And since you started earlier and ended earlier, it was still running through my system late into the night.
Yeah.
And I was having to go at your apartment when we were like getting in bed and stuff. And it's quiet. And the bedroom and the bathroom are connected, and that sucked so much.
Yeah.
But it brought us closer, wouldn't you say?
So that was the shit mountain story. But what do you call it? Because it's better.
Mount Pilchuck Poopathon.
It was a poopathon. But this is what I want to talk about next. That was a huge icebreaker for us in the way of bodily functions entering the relationship. And I want to talk about how to fart in front of your significant other.
Hi, it's Kiley.
Hey, it's Kyle, and you're listening to Should We Get Married? It's a podcast about
Life
and love
in relationships
and our relationship.
and inappropriate, nitty gritty, messy stuff.
Yeah, we get into the nooks and crannies of day-to-day relationshiping.
Yeah, we're just skimming the surface so far, so it's going to get weird.
It's going to get weird, and we would like to invite you along on this open-minded journey of communicating through our relationship.
Yep, everyone's welcome.
And we're talking about, should we get married? Should anyone get married?
Mm-hmm.
Please like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Leave us a review over on Apple. It helps out so much.
And follow us over on Instagram and Twitter at SWGM Pod.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Back to the show.
Do you remember how you did it?
To you?
Yeah. Was that it?
I think that was the moment because it was such a huge icebreaker, and I was nervous for a long time when I had to fart. And you're in the room or you're around, you're within earshot, and I have to, I don't know what kind of noise it's gonna make type of thing, but I have to fart type situation. It's gonna come out.
And how about not even just the coming out part, but how about like early on when you're just laying together? Say you're just talking or laying in bed.
And you're just holding them in.
And your stomach does a fart grumble.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, and
that was a good invitation.
The girl or the guy knows it's a held in fart. How about those?
No, that's not always the case.
I mean, you can tell the difference though.
What? Are you some kind of a superhero? Because I cannot tell the difference.
You can tell when your coworker's tummy grumbles, whether it's because they're hungry or because they already ate.
Then you are a superhuman being because I have no idea the differentiation between those two sounds.
All right.
But those, I'll just say right off the bat, those don't bother me. Those are not embarrassing. The stomach
Yeah.
grumbles.
Who cares?
What is embarrassing is, or what sucks is like in the beginning of the relationship when you're holding in massive amounts of farts, especially when you're like taking each other out to eat at nice restaurants and you're eating heavy food and you're eating food that you wouldn't normally eat because you want to, quote unquote, be a little adventurous, or you want to eat what the other person likes and all that stuff. And at the end of the date, I mean, things are going on in the stomach. Not every time, but when they do, it's uncomfortable, it's painful, and the night's really good still because you're falling in love with this person, or it's going well, and you're in the conversations, and you're sitting in the car, and then boom, you have to let one out. But it's not happening because I'm not gonna fart in front of you early on. But
there's a way to do it.
Yeah, and the time comes when it's time to do it.
Okay, and it's one thing if you're a dude, though. It's a whole nother story if you're a lady.
It is.
You have different expectations, but I think I think there's a good way to do it.
What are you about to launch into?
I think there are 2 factors into how to introduce farting from the girl to the guy in a relationship, or girl to girl, or guy to guy. As a lady, society has, made us feel that we should not do that. And
which I have a ratio.
Okay, so 2 things: proximity and octave. Okay.
All right.
So over time, the longer you're together, the closer and closer proximity gets to passing wind. Have you noticed?
Yes.
It goes from the other room to same room to sitting on the couch together to do I let this go as we're touching and cuddling, or do I get up and walk away?
So true.
Right?
Yes.
And at some point you don't care anymore. So the best way to do it is from, I think, the other room. If you both have a good sense of humor and you can feel what's coming on, but the octave is a little bit out of your control.
Make sure it's a fart you trust, right?
Right. So proximity is in your control. So make sure you're in the other room. Octave.
Make sure it's a trusty fart.
It's got to be a good feeling. So if you have a good feeling, that's going to be a tight little ditty.
What?
Okay. Control yourself.
Oh my God.
I think that from the other room,
A tight little ditty?
as a woman, you can just let it go. You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be cute?
Okay. I don't know if I'd use cute as a word, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. So you in the other room would just hear a little high pitch, like, and then I would wait I'd either go, huh, what? Or I'd wait to see what you say.
Okay. And so that's what a tight little ditty sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what you're saying is you let one out, make sure it's a tight little ditty from far away.
It's an icebreaker. Windbreaker.
And then over time it gets closer and more comfortable.
Over time you get more comfortable, but
right. That makes sense.
You individually are going to be more comfortable if you're not holding everything in all the time for years.
Yeah, let me just say this. It's okay to fart in front of each other.
Yes.
And we shouldn't be shamed of our farts. But I do have a couple of bathroom boundaries.
Okay.
And they are, I don't want to... Peeing in front of each other is cool. Don't mind it. Not a big deal. But pooping in front of each other is... I'm not okay going there.
You can't go farther than that. There's nowhere to go from there.
That's true. And also...
Save that for 90.
Bathroom boundary number 2 is I don't want to be farted on, and I don't want to fart on you.
Thank you. And also, I think we're going to see a sharp decline in listeners halfway through this episode.
Maybe we're going pretty lowbrow.
People are like, well, the first episode was good. The second one, might as well skip it.
Maybe. All right. Well,
I think we should do me likey, no, me no likey now.
okay.
Which,
Did we get all the butt stuff out of the way? Because I kind of want to get all butt stuff out of the way.
I mean, what else you got for butts?
I think that's it, really. Okay, so that's all good stuff. I like talking about it because it's, it can be really shameful and embarrassing, but it's ultimately just what we humans do. We pass gas. We have to relieve ourselves, number 2 style. And, tight little ditties happen.
Okay, so do you have your me likey, me no likeys ready?
Are we going into me likey, me no likey?
Yeah.
I got mine ready.
I gotta find my list.
Okay.
So,
You want me to go first?
episode 2 on our second segment of me likey, me no likey.
You ready for this? Because
Are you going first? Go for it.
hold on to your butt. Okay, I'm gonna go bad news first.
Okay.
I like to lead with no likey.
All right.
Okay, me no likey.
Uh-oh. I get so nervous what you're about to say.
You should be nervous.
Don't.
Because this is a big one. Are you
Is
prepared?
it gonna stab me in my soul?
Yeah. All right. Me no likey. You're grumpy as fuck at night.
No. I know.
And it's not cool.
There's nothing to say to that. It's true.
What's up with that? What's going on there?
Look, it's been a long day every day.
Okay.
And your favorite time to fuck with me is at bedtime. And by the time I'm getting to bed, I'm tired. And I'm irritable.
Well, are you more annoyed with me then at that point than you
No.
are grumpy?
No, I'm just grumps.
Okay, and it just doesn't help that I get sassy and goofy at the end of the day.
Yes. I wish I could. I'll work on it, but I've said that for a year. That didn't start happening till maybe this last year.
Oh.
Do you think? Was I
Maybe.
just on my best behavior for the first 5 years?
Maybe.
I will remember something you said early on when we started dating, though, which was
Okay.
that you liked that I was not grumpy in the morning.
Yeah, you can really go with the flow in the morning, which is really nice, really breath of fresh air. Because if people who aren't quote unquote, they're not morning people, it bugs me because it's just it's perspective. It's a state of mind that you can change if you want to. Which leads me to my frustration.
I don't know if I agree with that because some people are night people and some people are morning people.
Yeah, biologically, you're more predisposed to be a night person than a morning person. But guess what? I'm a night person, but I can wake up and just, it's time to go in the morning.
Yeah.
Just, let's seize the day. Let's have fun with it. I'm not like that every day. I'll admit that. But me likey, okay?
Okay.
I felt like we hung on no likey too much there.
Nah.
Okay, me likey, you can laugh at yourself. And let me add to that, you can take a look at yourself. You can look at yourself in the mirror, which you just did when I brought up that you're grumpy as fuck at night. And you said, yeah, I am. And that's really awesome. And I love that so much about you. And I think that's a major quality of why we're still together, is because you can get honest with yourself. And that's something I work on very hard, and I appreciate that so much from you, because I don't think we can get very far if we're not able to look at ourselves in the mirror and navigate that, but also laugh at it. And you're able to laugh at yourself, and I love that about you.
Oh, thanks, honey. That's
You're
really
welcome.
nice to
Thank
know.
you.
I'm glad that you feel that way. My turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring it on.
Should I start with... I'm going to start with me no likey. You are a really terrible person to be in traffic with. Okay? Like, you make it worse. You double the worseness. of being in traffic. Kyle cannot stand being in traffic, and which is fair. You don't have to like it, and it's very frustrating. I will admit that. But I commute every day, and I think at some point, some part of you just kind of shuts down with having to care about it, because like anything else, it's out of my control. So I can either like get all riled up or not. And I just have this specific time in my head where you were just like, swear, like, what the fuck? Like, why aren't we moving? Bah, 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 bah. And I was just like, oh my God, can we just talk about something else?
That's happened more than once, I will admit.
The specific time I have is on the way to the music festival, the Union Zero Music Festival.
You
remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember that. So here's what happens. Traffic comes out of nowhere, which I should be expecting it no matter what here in the Seattle area. And
you won't go places if you think there's going to be traffic.
Oh, yeah. And that's because that's just smart.
You want to go to Seattle this weekend for this really cool, fun thing? You're like, no, way too much traffic.
It depends.
Not even going to leave the house.
It depends on the time and what the thing is. But yeah, I will not do stuff because of traffic.
Yeah.
But what happens is we get in traffic, or I get in traffic, and I'll resort to like asking the gods in the universe, why?
Yeah.
Why, man? What
but
the
in
fuck?
An actual angry way.
Oh, yeah.
But
Super,
not like a joke.
Genuinely very...
Beside
I'm livid.
yourself.
Beside myself. Like, why could this ever happen? What
is the meaning of all this? Why are we even here right now? Fuck this, turn the car around, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll work on that, honey.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think you've gotten better because we talked about it after that one time where I was like, dude, I don't even want to be in the car with you.
We did have a good talk about it. And I think you're right. I think I have gotten better. And the next time we're in traffic, I'm going to be the sweetest little angel. It's going to be the most relaxing time you've ever had in a car.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
All right.
Cool. Me likey. Oh, me likey, your ability to have a bromance with a dude that you meet.
Yeah.
Let me elaborate.
Okay.
I've seen you go into an immediate bromance, for example, in Hawaii with Michael, which is my dad's girlfriend's son.
Love Michael.
And you guys like get into your own little world where you're doing your thing and you're joking around, and it's awesome. It's so cute. You like become instant best friends, and then we'll come home to Washington, and throughout the year you'll be texting at like 11 p.m. like texting, and I'll look over and be like, what are you even doing right now? And you're like, I'm talking to Michael. But you've done it with you do it with all kinds of people.
Yeah. You
did it with Brian Sheehy too, who also we met in Hawaii.
Yeah.
You totally bro out with like Brandon,
great photographer.
Brandon and Robbie and whoever it is. It's like, and my dad notices it too, and people around us notice it, and so we always say, oh yeah, Kyle and his bromance.
So I think that might come from being an only child. I just love friendships. I love my male friendships a lot, and I do not take them for granted. And when I'm in the moment of connecting with another man, it's amazing. And I love connecting with humans in general, but when I'm developing a friendship, it's something really cool. When I'm really connecting with somebody, and like I have no shame to just be like, all right, well, do you want to hang out tomorrow night then?
Every night?
Yeah.
Well, let me just elaborate, because it's not just normal making friendships. You're good at that all around, whoever you're around.
All right.
But it's just specific people that for some reason you've plucked out that it just like clicks, and there's a bromance on both ends, and you lean into it so hard, like over the top, and you decide that you love that person.
Wait, is it over the top though?
No, like in a good way.
Is it too much? It is. It's in a good way. Okay.
Like you're just like, oh man, I love X and XYZ, and I just can't wait to see XYZ again. Oh man, I love him so much.
It's true. I just love clicking with people in that way. And I didn't go to college. I don't have a lot of friends from high school, and my life path has been very interesting that way. And when I meet somebody I can connect with like that, it's really special. I really love it, because as we grow older and as we get into serious relationships, friends I forget to hang out with them. I have other things to do. Not that I don't want to hang out with more people. It's just life. As we grow up, we get more responsibilities, and we have things to do, and that's just the way it is. So when I meet somebody I can connect with, I really love it. I really love to have a good time and connect with people on any level other than surface, and to just riff and find our own sense of humor and all that stuff.
I think that's the foundation of the specific people that it happens with, is the base of the same humor.
Yeah.
Because really underneath it all, it's like it's just a fun time. So you got to be able to joke around.
Yeah. And
understand.
Yeah. And people I can relate with too.
It's
and people I can go a couple layers deep I just really enjoy that. Really, really enjoy that.
It's really endearing.
I love my friends. Yeah.
I like that about you.
Thanks, honey. What are we doing next?
Oh my God. Okay. We have listener questions.
This is a big deal. I never thought this would ever happen.
We didn't even tell people that we had a form on our website. They just found it, or you found it, whoever. And there's 3 of them. 3 people ask questions.
So we made a Ask Us Anything form on our website, and people found it. And
we're going to fucking answer them.
We're going to answer some questions.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go right into it.
Wait, I
Yes.
want to preface this a little bit.
Okay.
This is not an advice podcast.
Oh, you got it. We have no idea what we're talking about.
We're just a couple of humans figuring this out like every other human on the planet.
That's why I was shocked to see a question come through, because it like one of them specifically seems like a pretty sincere question.
They all seem sincere.
They are all sincere, but the first one that came through was sincere, and I thought they would just say like your mom's butt or something.
Right.
Like people messing with us, and my first thought was, they care what we have to say about this.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
And we do have some experience on this stuff, and we're not going to blow smoke, and we're not professionals. And also,
They're just good topics.
they're great topics. And I will say this, I am a bag of contradictions. So when I give out advice, I will probably make that very mistake I say not to do. Like when I just said a couple of minutes ago, when I don't like it when they say they're not morning people, guaranteed in a week or 2 or a month or 2, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be grumpy and I'm going to say, babe, I'm just not a morning person. And I'm going to eat my own words.
Yeah.
So fair warning.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
So, do you want to ask the first one?
Sure. Okay. So the first question is, and by the way, this Ask Us Anything form is totally anonymous.
Yeah,
And
we don't even know who submits these. There's no name field.
yeah, so just ask if you want to ask any questions. And also, new to this podcast, we have a voicemail message machine.
Oh, yeah, you can ask us a question.
And you can call us and ask a question. This one, you do leave your name. And I would love to...
You can make up a name.
You can make up your name, but I'd love to hear your questions via voicemail. And the phone number is area code 509-761-9105.
It's Google Voice, right?
Yeah, it's a Google Voice.
It'll walk
number.
you through how to leave a message.
Yeah, it's a phone number. You leave a message. Pretty easy. First question. Here we go. How do you ask for more contribution around the house from your significant other without sounding rude or coming off as a dick?
Okay, so I think this starts with something way ahead of time, which for us was really helpful. We read the book called The 5 Love Languages, and you can understand for yourself and for your partner what their love language is. And for some people, it's acts of service. For some people, it's touch. For some people, it's gifts. And I forget what the other two are. But acts of service kind of has to do with making dinner once in a while, or you doing the dishes for me so I don't have to do them when I get home from a really long day of work and they've piled up. That kind of a thing. So understanding first if that's really important for your partner and that you know to sprinkle those things in, I think is the first step. Would you agree?
I do agree, but this person wants their significant other to help out. So it sounds like they're doing their part in the house, and they want to know how to ask this other person how to help out.
Well, what I'm trying to say is the book helps you understand why that's important to you. Why it's bothering you that this person isn't helping out, because for them it might not be important.
Okay, fair enough.
But for you it might be important, and it eats away at your soul. Oh, there it is again. I said soul.
Keep saying it, honey.
Okay. So
your advice is for this person to read a book?
Now, my advice is to ask really nicely, and maybe over dinner or sit down and talk about, maybe instead of pointing a finger and saying you don't do enough around here sort of conversation,
right.
More start it with, I've been feeling kind of stressed out lately because there's a lot of chores going on. I feel a little overwhelmed by it.
Yeah.
And I would just love it so much if maybe we could even it out or choose a day of the week and clean some stuff together or fill in the blank.
And also, in my experience, no matter what, I've been asked to help out more, and I've asked a significant other to help out more. I've asked you to help out more. Mm-hmm. And it never goes well. It never goes well. So good luck, buddy. Next question.
That's why there's not like a definitive answer to this. It depends on the people receiving the question.
All joking aside, I think ask the question, be humble, have some self-deprecation, come from a place of love, and be ready to navigate some uncomfortable words and some uncomfortable feelings, and come out the other side. Lead with empathy, lead with kindness, and come out the other side better for it. Just get into it. Let's get into it. The
asker needs to not ask in a nagging way, and the receiver needs to not receive with taking it personally.
Yeah, which never happens. Okay, next question. You want to read this one?
Sure. Having a hobby that doesn't involve your significant other doesn't make you a bad person, does it?
No, I think, okay, so first off and foremost, I think it's very healthy to have separate things to do.
Need to have separate things to do.
Gotta have separate things to do, yes.
However, there are many layers to that.
Yeah, there are. You can't do something that takes away too much time from the relationship that you should be nurturing. You can't, there's all kinds of things that you shouldn't do, and that should be part of going with your gut, common sense, but definitely do things separate from your significant other. We have to grow as individuals as much as we do, or more so maybe as couples. We have to live our life. We have to gain experience and build our character, and so we have something to come back to, something interesting to bring back into the relationship.
Yeah, I agree. Having your own shit is really, really important. It's just that if you have a hobby that, like you said, is maybe taking up more of your time,
right,
then you are able to, like, it's cutting into your quality time with your significant other.
Yeah.
Quality time is another of the love languages. Okay.
Cool.
So if it's a reoccurring thing that you're spending all of your time doing that person might obviously get upset if quality time is important to them. And if maybe they don't have their own hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah, that's another thing, but lead by example.
Mm-hmm. Also, having a hobby that discludes your significant other, like like you might have a hobby that you really enjoy, but you invite me to do time to time, or you bring along with me. But if you're adamant that I'm not allowed to be involved, depending on what it is, that would kind of suck.
Okay.
Like you are clearly not a part, like you can't come with me.
That
kind of a
wouldn't
thing.
that wouldn't bother me.
Well, I guess it depends on what it is.
I'd be like, go get it. Go get it, babe.
Like say I went to see a movie at the movie theater every weekend and I wanted to go by myself, but I always saw movies that you wanted to see.
Yeah.
Like all the time.
Uh-huh.
That would start to suck, right?
We're done at that point. Fucking deal breaker. I'm out.
But if
Movies that I want to see without me?
But if once in a while I want
Done.
to see a movie and I want to go by myself, I just need some time, you're like, go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, going to see movies by yourself is kind of awesome every once in a while. I used to do it a lot, but it's pretty rare now.
Yeah.
Okay. The next, well, we don't need to read this one, do we?
Well, I wanted to read all of them.
Okay.
And it's a comment. And it says, this is good shit.
Yeah. So thank you whoever said that. That's very kind of you, and it means a lot actually. So thank you. This next one, do we need to ask this one because I definitely want to talk about it in a future episode, or maybe we can ask it now and then mention that we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so this one's heavy. This one's really unorthodox, and it's interesting to me. This person asks, again, these are all anonymous. This person asks, will you do a segment on the topic of swinging? Your thoughts on swinging with another couple, etc. And I think maybe we should talk about it on our next episode.
Well, I have one thing to say, which is I have no experience with that.
Okay.
I might have an opinion, but no experience. So I don't know how much I want to discuss it. Oh, well, we could discuss like what if you came to me and decided you wanted to do swinging.
Do you think Jeffrey Bezos has swung?
I mean, maybe. Do you think people do the thing where they say 10 years in, if you really feel like you need to sleep with another person, you'll have one out at our 10-year anniversary? I think that was a movie or something.
I think that is real in relationships, and I want to talk about all of that on the next episode, perhaps.
Ooh, on the next regular episode.
Our next episode is another bonus episode.
Yes, part 2 of the New York Times 36 questions that lead to love.
And these questions get so personal. It's crazy. I'm nervous about answering these questions.
I have
Super
anxiety,
nervous.
yeah.
Because they are very revealing, but that's what I want to do. This is the point. This is part of the exercise of podcasting that I really want to do. I want to crack open the egg. I want to see what happens when I'm vulnerable with you on this podcast. So far, it's been an incredible experience. And I really want to explore what it's like to be open and honest.
Yeah, I agree. It's a really, a lot of things that produce anxiety end up being really good for you. So
Walking through that fear, absolutely.
yeah.
So a couple notes to take away on this podcast is it's okay to fart in front of your significant other.
Okay.
2, thank you so much for listening.
Yeah.
Please
Listen to the next one after all this poop talk.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about all the butt stuff.
Or if you like it, let us know, I guess.
I think a lot of people will. It's fun.
Ask us poop questions on the website.
But please like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
Oh, yeah. So,
Leave a review.
yeah, we're now on Apple and Google Play and Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, all probably anywhere you listen to podcasts now. So
Yeah.
a subscribe would be really cool, but on Apple, giving us a rating would be even cooler.
And tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Thanks everyone for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.